How to treat others. From original text. Many religious and philosophical texts share common principles related to how individuals should treat others. While there are variations in terminology and context, their teachings emphasize the importance of love, compassion, respect, and treating others with kindness. Here are some common themes found in some of these texts. The Gospel of John in the Bible. John 14:15, "This is my command, love each other." John 13:14, "Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet." John 15:13, "Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends." John 14:6, Jesus answered, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." John 20:21, again Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." Torah. Leviticus 19:18. "You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against your kinsfolk. Love your neighbor as yourself, I am the Lord." Leviticus 19:15. "You shall not render an unfair decision, do not favor the poor or show deference to the rich, judge your kinsman fairly." Exodus 23:9. "You shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the feelings of the stranger, having yourselves been strangers in the land of Egypt." Deuteronomy 24:14. "You shall not abuse a needy and destitute laborer, whether a fellow countryman or a stranger in one of the communities of your land." Exodus 20:12. "Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land that the Lord your God is giving you." Quran. Quran 17:26, "And give the relative his right, and, also, the poor and the traveler, and do not spend wastefully." Quran 90 hours, and 17 minutes, 18 But the love of wealth and possessions diverts you from remembering Allah. Quran 42 hours, and 40 minutes, "And the retribution for an evil act is an evil one like it, but whoever pardons and makes reconciliation his reward is due from Allah. Indeed, he does not like wrongdoers." Surah An-Nisa 4:32, "And do not wish for that by which Allah has made some of you exceed others. For men is a share of what they have earned, and for women is a share of what they have earned. And ask Allah for his bounty. Indeed Allah is ever, of all things, knowing." Surah An-Nahl 16:90, "Indeed, Allah orders justice and good conduct and giving to relatives, and forbids immorality and bad conduct and oppression. He admonishes you that perhaps you will be reminded." The Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 6.32. "He is a perfect yogi who, by comparison to his own self, sees the true equality of all beings, both in their happiness and distress, O Arjuna." Bhagavad Gita 4.21. "Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions." Bhagavad Gita 10.22. "To those who are constantly devoted and who serve me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me." Bhagavad Gita 11.55. "My dear Arjuna, one who does not envy but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself better than others, who is free from all desires, who is free from all sense of proprietorship and is free from false ego, such a person is very dear to me." Bhagavad Gita 16.4. "Charity given out of duty, without expectation of return, at the proper time and place, and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness." Buddhist classics. The Karinyaya Metta Sutta, SN 1.8. "Radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies, and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will." The Dhammapada, verse 183. "Not by hatred is hatred appeased, hatred is appeased by love. This is an eternal truth." The Dhammapada, verse 223. "Overcome the angry by non-anger, overcome the wicked by goodness, overcome the miser by generosity, overcome the liar by truth." The Anguttara Nikaya 4.61. Hatred is never appeased by hatred in this world. By non-hatred alone is hatred appeased. This is an eternal law. The Dhammapada, verse 49. As a bee without harming the flower, its color or scent, flies away, collecting only the honey, even so should the sage wander in the village. The Udana, verse 5.1. He abused me, he beat me, he defeated me, he robbed me. In those who harbor such thoughts, hatred is never appeased. Dao De Jing. The sage acts by doing nothing. Teaching without verbosity, producing without possessing, creating without regard to result, claiming nothing, the sage has nothing to lose. Chapter 2. The best people are like water, which benefits all things and does not compete with them. It stays in lowly places that others reject. This is why it is so similar to the way. Chapter 8. The softest things of the world override the hardest things. That which has no substance enters where there is no crack. Chapter 43. In the world, the best household is the household that is modest. The modest household is the open household. Chapter 70. The sage does not accumulate. The more that he assists others, the more he possesses himself. The more he gives to others, the more he has for himself. Chapter 81. Analects. Analects 4.16. The master said, the gentleman understands what is moral. The small man understands what is profitable. Analects 4.16. The master said, the superior man thinks of virtue, the small man thinks of comfort. The superior man thinks of the sanctions of law, the small man thinks of favors which he may receive. Analects 5.12. Ziguang said, what I do not wish others to impose on me, I also wish not to do on others. The master said, see, you have not attained that. Analects 12.16. The master said, the superior man seeks to perfect the admirable qualities of men, and does not seek to perfect their bad qualities. The mean man does the opposite of this. Analects 15.23. The master said, the superior man does not promote a man simply on account of his words, nor does he put aside good words because of the man. Shared value. Love and compassion. These texts encourage individuals to show care and concern for the well-being of others. Respect for others' beliefs. These texts often advocate respecting the religious and cultural beliefs of others, promoting tolerance and understanding. Helping the needy. There is a recurring call to help those in need, support the less fortunate, and engage in acts of charity and goodwill. Nonviolence. Many of these texts promote nonviolence or avoiding harm to others. They encourage peaceful resolutions to conflicts and emphasize the avoidance of aggression. Self-improvement. Many of these texts encourage self-improvement and personal growth as a means to better interact with and benefit others. While the specific teachings and terminology vary across these texts, the overarching message is one of moral and ethical conduct, promoting a harmonious and just coexistence with others.